Hello and welcome back to a review of the reaction to Revelations 2 of Resident Evil. We will start with the fact of Claire Redfield returning and discussing Mora being a character in the game. Now, I like Claire returning. That is awesome. So, I would just like to point out that this game looks hard and has some things taken from Code Veronica. Obviously, Claire's been kidnapped again, and she's on an island prison again, fighting monsters again. So, yeah, there's not really much left to say on Claire's behalf. She's an awesome survivor. She survived Raccoon City. She survived the Rockford Island incident, which was Code Veronica. And she survived the airport incident, which was an animated true to story, unlike the live-action D-Generation movie. So now, this is supposed to be 2011, 2 years before Resident Evil 6 takes place. Mora is Mora Burton. She is a classic and one of the coolest characters in Resident Evil, definitely Barry Burton's daughter, even though she dresses like a skank in a way. Daddy gonna have some talk with her after not seeing her for years. But, yeah, she's not really, she fights, but she uses a melee weapon. I think she uses a pistol, too, but she doesn't get a pistol until later in the game. I think it's like half of the game later. Let's also talk about something else involving this game before we get into all the other details. This is a picture, one of many pictures just released for the gameplay of Barry Burton. Revelations 2 is going to have Barry Burton. So everybody was saying that Barry needs to return if they're going to bring his daughter in this game. And you were right. Barry's here. He's a badass. He works for the BSAA as an advisor. And as you can see here, he has a very bad temper and he's about to stab this poor bastard in the back of the head. So, Barry Burton comes here and basically he's looking for his daughter. There's this little girl over here. Now, I don't know yet. My assumption is that that little girl is like an imaginary image of Mora when she was younger, leading him to find her the right way. That's just what I think, though. He has his samurai edge that you see him use in Remake. He has his Magnum revolver. You can see it up here in the holster. So, yeah, you can't have Barry come back without his revolver. They even had to throw it in 5, and it was just as a maneuver weapon, but it was still there. Okay, so now let me cover another thing. Before we get into the extra content details, now, just the last thing I got to say about Barry is that he's here looking for his daughter because he heard she's in trouble. He hasn't seen his daughter in years, basically since the mansion incident. He has not seen his daughter. So he's here, he's looking for her. Now, you got to mind, when you watch the trailer, yes, he does kind of sound older, but he's old. You got to remember that. I'm pretty sure Barry was in his 30s in Resident Evil, so he's like in his 40s, near 50s now. He's still badass. So, other thing I would like to note is, if Claire is going to be in a game, I expect to see Chris come in somehow and help, because the last time in Code Veronica, she was rescued by her brother. Now, I'm not saying to make him a character in the game to play as, except for raid mode, which is something we'll talk about shortly. But I'm saying that if Mora's daddy, known as Barry Burton, is going to come to rescue her, and if this is based off of Code Veronica mostly, wouldn't it make sense if Chris comes in and at least is the one to pick them all up in a helicopter? That's just one little thing I wanted to get out of the way. Let me know if you agree, because I see it this way. He rescued her the last time she was on an island full of monsters. This is the same damn scenario, just way later. So I think Chris should at least show up to be the one with the helicopter to rescue him. If not, in the last chapter, be someone to help you guys fight. It just makes sense. Either way, the game looks fucking awesome. So, let's get back into the Revelations talk. Raid mode is confirmed for this game, as well as 4 bonus maps you're able to buy, and 2 DLC characters you're able to buy for Raid mode skip this. Anybody who loves Mercenaries or Resident Evil will love these two characters coming back, because these two were the original Mercenaries, and they were, like, the best. Albert Wesker and Hunk are returning as characters in raid mode. So, I don't know if Albert Wesker coming back as a raid mode character out of nowhere, even though he has nothing to do with this game, is supposed to be a hint, maybe the next Resident Evil game. Like, Revelations and Revelations 2 are things that happen between the main games. Maybe the next main game, Wesker does come back. So maybe that's a hint to it. Now, Hunk is fucking awesome. Anybody who's played Resident Evil knows Hunk can't damn die. He's better than Wesker. He's the best character of them all as far as not being able to die. Nothing has killed him and nothing can. He fought Birkin with a petty-ass pistol and a submachine gun, and he lived. And he got the G-Virus back from him. And there's a big speculation that a man named Alex Wesker was supposedly disappeared after the Mansion incident. Shortly after is when Hunk became a USS member, and notice Hunk has a lot of tributes that are similar to Wesker. Resident Evil 4, the way he snaps the necks, he's too damn quick on it. He literally has superhuman speed for certain things he does. He can't die. He never has died. And this man alone is just so highly trained, it's unbelievable. So the fact that raid mode is basically what they're going to be called Mercenaries now, or a new form of Mercenaries, it makes sense to have Hunk. He was in Resident Evil 4 Mercenaries. He was even in the Mercenaries 3D game. He wasn't in 5 Mercenaries, which a lot of people bitched about that, which is a good point. How can you not have him in there? And he's even in 6. Agent in 6 is Hunk. You don't have to be a mastermind. You know Resident Evil game with him in it, you know it's fucking him. Now let's go on to another thing. This game overall looks like it's going to be very good and promising and give Capcom the money they need to make a decent Resident Evil 7 game. Capcom did say that they're going to go back to their survival horror roots. They said that after Resident Evil 6, and look, Revelations and Revelations 2 both came out after Resident Evil 6. And both of them were very promising as far as the horror goes. This game looks like it's going to be scarier. So, yeah, there's that. There's possibly DLC weapons. Raid mode is at least returning. The story, they don't know if they're going to make it online yet, but it is confirmed that the storyline is going to be co-op offline. So there to be a split screen. But they don't know if they're going to do it online. So, yeah. My brother made a video like this. We'll be making another one shortly about both of our reactions. So my reaction is this game is fucking awesome. Barry's returning. Claire's returning. Badass. 2 of the most wanted characters to return. You've got 2 characters for raid mode returning that you just can't play a Mercenaries mode without being able to play as. Resident Evil 6 they substituted Wesker for Jake, which is decent, I guess. So, yeah, this game's going to be awesome. It's sick. It looks fucking sweet. Anybody who loves Resident Evil games knows horror is where it's at with a Resident Evil game. If it's not scary, or it's not hard or challenging or survivalish, it's not Resident Evil. This game is going to be that way. So, please let me know down in the comments below what you think about it. Please subscribe if you want to know more about any news about Resident Evil games that we learn we will be talking about. That is going to be a new thing. We do walkthroughs on games. We do reviews on movies and tributes for movies and games, anything horror related. So, obviously, if you're watching this, you're into that shit. So, as always, like and subscribe if you would like to. Again, please let us know in the comments what your opinion is on this and what I've talked about. So, slashers keep slashing, gamers keep gaming, and nerds keep being nerdy. And I will see you in the next fucking video.